Yet. Hey, so in today's session, we are going to be learning how to start pricing your services so they are highly profitable. Now, you might be saying, why do I need that? Why do I need to understand how to price my services? Well, pricing your services is you could use this for pricing products. You could use this for pricing services. You could use this really to start your own business and to get a better understanding of, okay, how am I going to start a new business and how am I going to make sure that it's profitable and worthwhile? So this is the number one mistake that most business owners make, and it's okay. We all make this mistake. I made this mistake myself when I first started my accountancy practice. Wow, that's going back some 2014, I believe it was. Yeah, so 2014. Was it 2014? 2013, I don't know, but anyway, it doesn't really matter. When I first started my accountancy practice, one of the things I learned very, very early on was how not to price your services, because I was pricing my services based on hour. So I was saying, okay, if I work for you an hour, I'll charge you £50. I soon realized that was a stupid way to price, because after I'd paid everything out, I was actually left with less than minimum wage. So it was pretty pointless. And you might think, well, £50 an hour, that's a lot of money. Well, yeah, that's a lot of money if you've got no costs associated to it. So I'm going to be going through how to price your services so they're highly profitable today. And thank you for joining me. Please do like, share, and comment. This is live right now. If you're watching the pre-recording, just put replay in the comment section. If you're joining me live right now, if you give StreamYard access to send you comments, then for you to send me comments, I'll see the comments coming up in the thread. So you can then ask me any questions as we're going through. So my mission is to free parents from their shackles and spend more time with their family. Something I'm incredibly passionate about. Like having run a very successful accountancy practice and realized that wasn't the business for me. It was taking up too much time. It was a bricks and mortar business. It wasn't an online business. It was just draining me dry, and I missed out on so much time. This is my eldest son here, Tobias. I missed out on so much time with Tobias when he was right in his young years, like Jackson. But luckily for me, I changed my direction, started to learn about the online world, started to learn how to do things differently. And I've been just present all the time with Jackson, and I've absolutely lived it. I haven't missed a minute. So I want to help you free your time so that you can spend more time with your family. And when I say spend more time with your family, I mean spend quality time with your family, not being worried about the bills, not being worried about having to do the washing, the cleaning, and all those things that we have to do as parents, being worried about COVID and where the next paycheck is going to be coming from, where the next payout from the government is going to come from for some people that are in dire situations. I love my family to bits, and my family's so important to me. You strip everything back, and if COVID has taught us anything, stripping everything back to its basics and start to actually understand what's important in life, and you soon begin to realize that money is not important, but money is a tool that we can use so we can spend more time with what's important to us. Now, if your children and your family and your partners or your passions is not important to you, then you may as well switch off now, because this is not for you. Please do stay to the end, because I'm going to be sharing some real golden nuggets that are really going to help you change your direction, change how you price your services, or even price your products if you're an e-commerce business. So my purpose, the reason why I'm here, and I'm putting my time and investing my time into these webinars and into these lives, is I'm committed to changing the lives of entrepreneurs, the small business owners. We refer to entrepreneurs and we always think of them as the successful millionaires. Well, no, I think of entrepreneurs as those small business owners, those ones that are in the trenches, those ones that are battling day in, day out to make ends meet. And how am I going to do that? Well, how I'm going to teach you to free yourself from your business and inspire you for freedom and your paradise by creating your business online. and getting it fully online. So a bit about my background. So 2002, I was an apprentice. I then became an accountant, chasing the money, chasing the dream of running, being a partner in an accountancy practice. Soon realized that wasn't really the journey that I was on. In 2014 was the birth of the entrepreneur. The entrepreneur was already there. I was hiding the entrepreneur within me for so long. I knew something was missing. I never really fitted in at work. I was always coming up with new ideas and new ways of doing things, and everyone seemed to hate me for it. I don't know why. I struggled to fit in with a lot of people. I've lost contact with a lot of people, and I believe that's because of my entrepreneurial spirit that was always hidden. I wasn't actually being true to myself. I wasn't being true to who I wanted to be. And then in 2018, I sold my 6-figure award-winning accountancy practice. And to today, at present, I'm dedicating my life and business to financial mastery, and I want to help you master your finances and master your online business. So who am I? You might be saying, who is Jamie Selby? Why is he qualified to do that? Well, ultimately, I'm somebody that cares. I actually care about the people that I work with. I care that if you're watching this, I care if you're getting value from this. If you are getting value from this, then please do tell me in the comments. If you're not getting value from this, then please do tell me in the comments, because I want to impact on your life. I want to give you the opportunities that I've had. I grew up in a village. I grew up on Council Estate here in Nottingham. My best friend growing up was a drug dealer. He changed his ways, and then unfortunately he passed away and died on a motorcycle accident. Now, there's a whole story into that I'd like to share with you, but that's another webinar entirely. So I've been trained by Andy Harrington. I've spoke at the largest accountancy conference in the world, in Europe, Accountex. I've also spoken at B1G1X. I've been very privileged to do that. I've done a lot of live speaking within Mark Wickersham's community. I've been trained by Simon Coulson, Russell Brunson. I'm a qualified marketer and a funnel strategist. I'm an absolute numbers Jedi. I love numbers. I love data. I love big data, aka the chartered accountant. I've got over 16 years experience. I'm a bit of a pricing ninja. So when it comes to pricing, I've worked under Mark Wickersham, so being trained by Mark Wickersham for over 7 years. And then I've worked with Mark Wickersham, who's the leading speaker on pricing, for the last 3 years. And I had the privilege of mentoring thousands of bookkeepers and accountants worldwide, which was an amazing experience. I became an international best-selling author, an Amazon best-selling author in business ethics. So linking purpose with your passion. So basically, if you have a passion for cars, then how do we link cars to doing some greater good in the world? I owned an award-winning accountancy practice, purchased 2 other businesses, and sold it in June 2018. I'm an investor, so I've been trained by Jason Greystone in Tears of Freedom. I've invested in some early tech startups, blockchain businesses, and made money doing it. I'm self-taught. I'm a problem solver. I like solving problems. So if you have any questions, just please do jump into the comment section and just comment any questions. I will personally answer every single question. Even if you're asking questions not during the live, I will answer your questions. I leave no stone unturned. I'm a detailed man. I like understanding the details. I like understanding your problems, and I would go above and beyond to deliver you results. I genuinely care. I do genuinely care. I genuinely care about the world. I genuinely care about you. The more people I can inspire to fuel their entrepreneurial spirit, to get their business online, to go and seek their financial freedom, to go for their dreams, the more fuel I can fire for happiness, and I'm a lifetime partner of B1G1. That's something I'm incredibly proud of. 2 of the books that we co-authored, all of the profits of those books are going towards education for children in Cambodia, days worth of water for people in Malawi. So we're doing lots and lots of great things around the world. We've changed lives of literally, I mean, me personally and my previous businesses have changed literally thousands of people's lives worldwide. Recently, I've made a commitment to help a young lady called Gemma Lee. She's 39 years of old, 39 years of old, 39 years of age, and she has a brain tumor and is looking to raise £5,000 worth of funding. So if you'd like to get involved with any of those charitable things, and you're driven by more than just money, and you want to be a hero, you want to make a change in the world, then you're in the right place. And the smallest things, even the smallest of impacts, just giving somebody water for a day can literally change their lives. It's amazing, and it's amazing to see the impact that has. And if you want more information on B1G1, just go onto Google. It's not B1G1 as in buy one, get one free. It's buy one and give one, which is fantastic. Now, I've put here 45-minute presentation. I'm probably going to get through that a lot quicker. If you've got any questions at the end, then please do jump in, and I'm more than happy to ask any questions at the end. So I like to think of this as the IOU process, and into how to price your services. And the IOU is very prevalent. So what we want to look at is how do we currently price our services? Well, ultimately, we need to know what is the cost of delivery. And you might be saying to me, Jamie, what's the cost of delivery of that service or what I'm doing? So if we take, for example, if you're a bookkeeper, and if we want to look at the cost of delivery, if you're the person that's delivering those goods, what would it cost to replace you? What would it cost to pay somebody else to do what you do and still make a profit? Now, this is the biggest mistake I see small business owners making, freelancers, so many people making this mistake. They don't get this right, because what they then do is they then trap themselves in a job. And as Michael Gerber says, it's the worst job in the world. He doesn't swear. It is the worst job in the world. Like running your own freelancing business, running your own service-based business. If you don't get your pricing right, you're going to be trapped in that business. You're never going to achieve your dreams, because you're always going to be trapped, because you're going to be chasing the money, because you're not earning enough money. So you always have to start with the end in mind. So start with, well, what's the cost of delivery? Now, for example, in a product-based business, like Apple know what the cost of a phone is. They know every single cost that goes into that phone. They know the cost of the marketing, the cost of the sales. They know everything. They know how many units of the iPhone they need to sell. And for them, it's very, very easy. And you're going to say, yeah, it's very easy for them, but I'm a service-based business. Well, you need to get better at working out the cost of delivery. And I know I'm saying that as if it's easy. It isn't easy. But again, this is a number 2 mistake that most business owners make, especially in the service-based industry, is that we don't take into consideration the amount of time a job's going to take. And if we don't take into consideration the amount of time a job's going to take, we are undervaluing what we're doing. And sometimes we're also undervaluing our own expertise. So, for example, if it would take a junior 10 hours, but it would take us 2 hours, but we're only charging 2 hours and charging a junior rate, we're not making enough money. Does that make sense? So you really do need to understand your simple basic maths. If you're charging £100 and you've got a cost of delivery £50, then you've got your profit. Now, I like to do this in reverse. I actually like to start with the profit first. So I actually like to start with, how much do you want to earn? How much do you want to earn from your business? Do you want to earn £50,000 a year? Do you want to earn £100,000 a year? Do you want to earn £150,000 a year? But 200,000, £500,000, £1 million, like however much you want to earn from your business. And this will help you sense check your pricing as well, because I did have somebody say, oh yeah, I'd really like to earn £1 million a year from my business, Jamie. But you start with $1 million. And then you work it back and you start thinking, well, actually, I would have to charge somewhere in the region of, well, actually, let's do the maths. So if you're working, let's say you're working 40 hours a week, that's the average across the US and UK and Australia, as far as I'm aware. So if you're 40 hours a week times 52, now I'm not taking into account holidays here. So if we wanted to earn $1 million profit, let's go divided by 2,080 hours, we would have to charge 480, and this is pounds. If I wanted £1 million, I'd have to charge £480 an hour, and then I'd have to add my cost of delivery on top of that. So I'd also have to add that on to get to the price of my services. Now you might be saying, Jamie, I can't charge £480 per hour. Like that's just ludicrous. It's not, because you're running a business, remember. You're not running a job. If you're running a job, it's the worst job in the world, as Michael Gerber would say. And it is. I've been there. I've done that. I've got the t-shirt. I charge per hour. And it was like I'd gone from having a job where I could turn it off at 5 o'clock to having a job where I had to chase the money, I had to chase for payment, I had to send the invoices, I had to do all the administration, I had to do all the marketing, all the sales, I had to be the cleaner, the maintenance guy, like literally everything for less money than what I was getting paid in my job. Because actually the price of the services that I was charging, less the cost of delivery, less all my expenses, left me with so little profit compared to the number of hours I was having to work to do that. So it's so important that you get this very first step right. So this is where the IOU process comes in. So we want to look at time in, time on, and time unavailable. So what I mean by that is most business owners don't take into consideration when they're pricing their services the time as well as the amount of money that they need to earn. Now, when we're looking at this, we've got time in the business. So we've got time in doing the work. So we need some time to do the work, especially if we're starting a business with no capital. And what I mean by no capital is like you're not starting it with 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds in the bank. If you're starting it with 20, 30, 40, 50,000 pounds in the bank, we'd be having a completely different conversation. Well, we wouldn't, because you still need time in the business to be running the director role. If you're an investor, you don't necessarily need time in, because you would just effectively be spending time on the business with the business owner to help them grow their business. Think of it like Dragon's Den. So in your business, you've got time in your business, that's doing the work. So if you're running an e-commerce business, an accountancy business, an accountant, even a joinery business, a construction business, what's the time in doing the jobs? So if you're the accountant or you're the bookkeeper, are you the bookkeeper that's doing all of the bookkeeping, all of the administration, all of the chasing, everything? Like, that's your time in your business. Then what you need to be doing is saying, well, okay, how much time do I want on my business, working on my business, improving it, innovating, changing the way we do things to make it more efficient, bringing in technology to help us. How do I take my business online? And I need time on my business to be able to do that. How do I improve the business? So the business is a vehicle where money comes in and money goes hopefully into our bank account. And when we've got enough money going into our bank account, we're on for a winner. Then my favorite, I love this one. This one, time unavailable. Time unavailable. Now, I don't know about you, but one of the things that really upset me, I remember looking in my diary, and I had appointment after appointment after appointment. I just had no free time. And then I looked in my diary and I thought to myself, what's the most important thing to me? And that's spending time with my family, spending time with my wife, spending time with my mates, spending time to do the things I enjoy doing, like golf. When was the last time I actually went in my diary, or when was the last time you went in your diary and you actually looked at and said, I'm going to block out this slot for me, specifically me. I'm going to block out this slot for my children. How many times have you done that? Actually, how many times have you put your children put your business before your children. Oh, I'm going to have to change that family appointment because I've got a client meeting. How many times have you done that? And that's where this becomes so important. So time unavailable. So you can see that there, in, on, and unavailable. So IOU. So think of it: in, on, and unavailable. So in on your head, on your nose, and unavailable on your chin. That will just help you remember. You might think I'm crazy when I'm saying that. So in on your head, on your nose, unavailable on your chin. If you remember that sequence, it will help you remember the sequence for IOU. If you don't believe me, go away and memorize that: in, on, unavailable, and you will remember it. And that will help you get the foundations for pricing your services. So let's think about time in. So time in is you're doing all the work. Now this is beginner level. This is beginner level 101. So how much time do you need to do the work? So for example, if you're a bookkeeper and you need, let's say you win this massive contract for a client and you need 35 hours in to work on that client. What about the administration time? What about the marketing time? What about the innovation time? You've not got all this time. So you've got all this time in your business, but you haven't got any time working on your business. So this is beginner level. So we need to make, and if you're starting out, then this is where you need to start. So you need to say, well, okay, I'm going to dedicate 30 hours in my business every week, and no more and no less. And I know a lot of people say take work when it's coming. I'd completely disagree, because if you plan it out correctly based on the terms of your work, so for example, if your work is termly because you can't do much work in the winter, if you plan out your work correctly, you should have made enough money in the summer months in the time that you need to do those jobs to pay for the winter months, if that makes sense. Now, you should always do that and always plan that. And again, you might think, oh, this is boring. If you don't get these things right, you will never be profitable. You'll never reach your dreams. It's mathematically impossible, because if you're working 40, 50, 60, 70 hours a week, where have you got the time for working on your dreams? And you could be saying, yes, I'm working on my dream business. Well, are you working on your dream business, or are you working in your dream business? Does that make sense? Like, you need to be very clear to yourself what it is that you want. If that's what you want, you just want to work in your business and beaver away for 30, 40 hours a week, then my webinar sessions and my lives are not for you. It's not for you. Just tune out. Again, I'm really, really passionate about helping parents and small business owners or small business owners that are parents, parentpreneurs, if you want to call them, getting back their time, spending that time with their family. And if that's what you want, then you need to be very clear that that's what you want. And then if that is what you want, please do comment in the section below, and I'll be more than happy to have a chat with you and help you. Again, no cost to you. I just want to help as many people as I can. So then we look at time on the business. So this is a bit the area that I like the most. So how many of you are actually taking time out? How much time are you taking out to work on your business? How much time are you taking out to innovate? How much time are you taking out to go to conferences, mentoring, to watch live streaming? If you're watching this live streaming, please do put live in the comment section. If you're watching the replay, put replay. I'd really like to make this as interactive as possible. But how much time have you dedicated? So again, you need to get a number. You need to have a number. So for example, if you're spending 30 hours a week in your business, then have you got another 10 hours that you can work on your business? And be very, very strict with your time here. It's so important, especially if you want that time with your family, and that's important to you. Then expert level. Expert level is time unavailable. So effectively, this is where you can have time off whilst your business still makes money. Like this is the best place to be when pricing your services, because when you're pricing your services and you've priced it right, you can have time where you're unavailable, because you've already taken into consideration somebody else doing the work. So if you've already taken into consideration the cost of somebody else doing the work, even if you're a one-man band or one-woman band, what you could do is you could effectively bring somebody in to cover your work whilst you're off on holiday. And you might be saying, why would I do that? Well, the work's still got to get done. So if you're not doing it, get somebody else, and you've already taken into consideration, so you're getting paid. And then this is where we go up to expert level number 2, is we need to start looking at some more passive income strategies. Or I'm not going to say completely passive, because they're not. The only passive income streams that I'm aware of is investing and getting paid dividends. So if you're investing in a company, the company directors, all the employees, everyone that's in that business is trying to make money. When they make money, they pay dividends to the investors, to the shareholders. Now, that is the one of a few passive income streams that I'm aware of. The only other ones I'm aware of is renting property. So if you're renting a property that is managed, so i.e. you don't touch it, it's all a managed portfolio, that's another passive income stream. What else is there? Nope, can't think of anything else. Because everything else requires some of your time, and that's my understanding of passivity. So if you're passive, you're able to just leave it there, and it just keeps making money. And if that's the case, then you're moving in the right direction. So again, to give you a bit of something to think about. If you were generating £2,000 a month from your business, and then you started to generate just £50 a month from your passive income streams or from your semi-passive income streams, what that's doing is that's releasing the pressure on the amount of money you need to earn each month. And then if you can take that £50 to £100 to £200 to £300 to £400 to £500, and just keep building on those blocks. And that's where introducing an online business, affiliate marketing, start selling some software products, bolting on software products. So one of the things we did in my accountancy practice is we bolted on QuickBooks Online, and we was charging that at the price that QuickBooks would charge, so effectively getting paid a commission from QuickBooks for selling QuickBooks licenses. Now, that did not undermine our advice. It didn't undermine. It was a tool that we were using to do the job. And it's exactly the same as what you should be doing. If there's tools that you need from the job and you're getting specific know-how and knowledge and discounts because you're in the trade, yes, you should be benefiting from that. And yes, you should be profiting from that, because the more profit you make, the better job you can do, and the more giving you can do as well. So let's go further in. Let's have a look at the numbers. So this is the bit that you've all been waiting for. I want to save this towards the end, because I wanted to try and keep you engaged. So if you're still here, just put in the comment section on the side. I'd love to have a chat with you. So let's look at the numbers. If this was the result, so if this was the result of what our planning was, so we've got time in our business of 25 hours a week. We've got time on our business of 10 hours a week, but then we've got time unavailable, so that's time off, 10 weeks a year. So we want 10 weeks a year holiday, which is more than any employment package I've ever had. So the hours worked are going to be 30 hours a week average with 10 weeks holiday. So if you have staff, I'd recommend that you do the same exercise with them. So have an idea of how much time. So if you've got more senior members of staff, they might be spending some time on the business with you. If you've got some staff that are going to progress within your practice, then you're going to have, they're probably going to be spending more time in than on. But you should also be getting them to dedicate time on their career. So if they're a junior level bookkeeper, you need to be giving them some time every single week to work on their career so they can progress. And that's how you get the best employees. That's how you get the best out of your staff, because you're putting their best interests and what their dreams and what they want at the heart of your business. And if you're doing that, you're going to be driving more profit your way as well, as a direct result of that. So look after your staff. Your staff will look after your your customers, and then the customers will look after you. Always look after your customers, your staff first. They always say look after your customers first. I think that's completely not a poppycock. Look after your staff first. So we've done this calculation. We're saying, okay, we're going to work on average of 30 hours a week. We're going to have 10 weeks holiday a year. Yay! Paid holiday as well. So if we take 30, and this is where we're starting to do the IOU calculations. So we've got 35 hours times 52 minus 10. So that's 52 weeks in a year minus 10 weeks holiday. We've got a total working hours. So if we were booking this time out in our diary, as in we're booking our holidays, so we're booking 10 weeks holiday in our diary, but we're also going to book in our working hours. So we're going to be booking in that 1,470 hours. Now, how many of you actually have sat down and done this calculation? Let's put in the comment section below or on the side. How many of you have actually done that calculation? If you haven't done that calculation, you need to do that calculation, because you're going to be dedicating a massive chunk of your life to your business, a huge chunk of your life to your business to make it successful. And you've got to be honest with yourself. Have I created a job or have I created a business? A business is something that earns you money whilst you sleep. It doesn't need you to be there. That's my honest opinion. You might say, oh, well, I've got a business, Jamie. I've got 10 members of staff. Yeah, but if you physically have to turn up to work every single day for that business to make money. So, for example, if you just, let's say, absolutely horrific situation, but let's say you get COVID for 2 weeks and that business doesn't earn any money whatsoever. And I know some of you are in this situation where you haven't even got COVID and you can't earn any money anyway. You might be thinking about starting a freelance career. Start here. Start with these calculations. Do it the right way. Start the right way. So we've got 1,470 hours. Again, we're going into the maths. How much money are you investing? So this is vitally important as well. So if you're starting a business from scratch, how much money are you investing into that business? And if you're investing nothing, that's fine. You can start a business from nothing. I did it, and I grew it to over 6 figures within actually 3 years. It was 2.5, but I didn't invest any of my money. I did make a commitment, so I'd managed to purchase a block of fees for £25,000. It was, but I didn't use any of my own money. That was all provided by the exiting owner. The exiting owner financed the whole deal. Again, it's boring stuff, but effectively what I'm trying to say is that you can do it. Nothing can stop you if you haven't got anything. But if you are investing money into the business, what that's going to do is that going to help you think from the right mindset. So what do I mean by that? So if you had £12,000 sitting in your bank account, and you were saying, okay, I've got £12,000. I know every single month we on average spend £2,000 a month. So that's mortgage, that's bills, that's food, that's savings, that's for the car, like everything, £2,000 a month. If you're spending £2,000 a month, you need to do that calculation, work out exactly how much you're spending every month. The easiest way to do it is take the last 3 months worth of bank statements and add everything up. So add everything up that you've spent on your bank statements, add everything up you spent on your credit card, divide it by 3 months, and you work out how much you're spending each month. Now, I don't want you to change your lifestyle or change anything that you're doing, but if you've got £12,000, let's say, sitting in a bank account ready to start your business, if you know that your cost of living is £2,000 a month, you've got 6 months to get your business started. And now you've got 6 months to set your business up the right way. You've actually got 6 months effectively to work on your business before you actually really need to be working in your business. And if you get those things right and you get that balance right, it's going to help you start making decisions from the right mindset. So rather than a fear mindset, which a lot of people are in right now, because a lot of people are asking questions like, where's my money going to come from? COVID this, COVID that. The economy is doomed, and it's all doom and gloom. And if it's all doom and gloom, why have house prices gone up in? In the UK, the house prices have gone through the roof. I've had friends trying to buy houses at the moment where there's been 7 other people trying to buy the exact same house. I mean, that's just unheard of. It's crazy time. Crazy town, sorry. So how much are you investing in? If you're not investing anything, then yes, you're going to be making decisions more based on fear. But let's go back to the facts and be grounded by facts. If we've got 1,470 hours that we want to dedicate to our business every year, which is effectively what we're doing when we're selling our time, because we are selling our time to an employer. So if an employer recruits us, we're selling our time to them. for an outcome is what they're trying to buy, but ultimately they're buying our time. So we've got money in and we've got money out. So how much money do you want out of the business? And this is like, just again, pricing 101. How much money do you want to make? Start with the end in mind. Like, how much do you want out of your business? Do you want £50,000 a year? Do you want £40,000 a year? Have you planned to give yourself a pay rise every single year? If you haven't planned to give yourself a pay rise every year, get out of business right now, because it's going to destroy you. It's going to destroy your soul, and you're not going to be able to spend the time with your family. I say that because that's what I did in the first 2 years of my business. It was soul destroying, and that's not what I want for you. I want better. So how much do you want out of your business? Your wages? How much pay rise are you going to give yourself every year? Get a pen and paper out and write it down. Say, I want £50,000 a year. Why do you want £50,000 a year? What's your dream amount? Like, if you had your dream house, what would the mortgage be on that? If you had your dream car, what would the monthly repayments be on that? If you had your dream holidays, how much would that cost every year? If you could pay for childcare and babysitting, a cleaner, your car maintenance, everything. If you could budget for your dream life, how much would that cost? Now we know the facts. We know how much it's going to cost you to have the dream life that you've all wanted. So we all dream of winning the lottery, but how many of you have actually sat down and said, okay, if I won the lottery, that £1 million, this is how much I'll spend on this car, this house, and then you're left with nothing. But then how are you going to continue to pay for those things that you've just bought? How are you going to continue to pay for the fuel? How are you going to continue to pay for the insurance? And this is exactly the same in business. Like, it's business 101. You need to get this fundamentally right. If you don't get this right, it all comes crumbling down, because it becomes pointless. If you're not achieving your financial goals, what's the point? Because you're not going to achieve financial freedom. And I say that is fact. It's not me making it up. You will not achieve financial freedom if you do not know how much money you want to take out of your business, and you're not giving yourself a pay rise at least every year. You give your staff a pay rise. Why are you not giving yourself a pay rise? And that the way to give yourself a pay rise is through your pricing. And if your clients value you, then they'll be quite happy to pay it as well. Again, you might be saying, it's during COVID, Jamie, people don't have money. People have money. People do have money. Yes, there's lots of people that don't have money at the moment, and they need our help. They need our help more than ever. But there are lots of people that are sitting on their money, wondering what to do, wondering what to invest in, wondering what to buy. Groove Funnels has just launched, and I've been talking a lot about Groove Funnels within some of my pages and some of the communities that I'm part of. And what they've done is they've gone and generated over 44,000 subscribers since April. I think they're actually probably sitting at 60, 70, if not 100,000 subscribers now, which is just absolutely mental. In the middle of a pandemic, they've launched a business. They've generated literally millions and millions of dollars worth of revenue in the middle of a pandemic. So if you tell me that it's not possible to launch a business during a pandemic, I call BS, because it is complete and utter BS. There is money out there. You've just got to find out what people's problems are and then solve them. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help you transition your business online. I'm trying to help you understand how you price your services. So if you're going to go into that freelance world, if you're going to start doing consulting work, start with the end in mind. Just understand how much time on, and unavailable you're going to have in your business. Then work out how much money you're going to put in, and how much money you want out of your business. And then how much money is unavailable. So again, I owe you. Hopefully you remember that. And money unavailable is your war chest. So think of this as your peace of mind. Your peace of mind, your war chest. And you might be saying, Jamie, I haven't got any money. How do I do this? Well, when you start making money, you need to be putting money in a war chest. Categorically. Like, if you want to be stressed every single day of your life, don't save money. If you want to be chilled, relaxed, and enjoying life, like myself, then you want to be putting money aside all the time. You might be saying, oh, it's easy for you, Jamie, you're an accountant. No, it hasn't been easy for me. You know, if I tell you what's happened to me over the last 6 months, crap hit the fan, try not to swear, crap hit the fan. And obviously with COVID, and everyone's in the same boat, and I'm not saying woe is me or anything like that. My current employer kind of pulled the plug on what we were working on, which was very successful, I might add. We were doing incredibly well with that, with working alongside Mark Wickersham. I don't fully understand what went wrong, but it left me in a very, very sticky situation, because I had a plan, but I had no plan in place for replacing my income, because I was anticipating working alongside Mark Wickersham at least for the next 5 years. But for whatever reason, that plug was pulled. I don't know the full ins and outs of that, but it left me in a very, very precarious situation. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this story is because I'd built a war chest. I'd anticipated, well, I was actually working with Jason Greystone in Tears of Freedom, and I was putting myself into a position where I could start investing. So I'd been saving literally furiously every single month. I'd been paying off debt. I'd reduced all our debt down to nothing. I mean, literally nothing. All we had was our mortgage. That was it. We had no car debt, no credit card debt, nothing. All of it was paid off. Amazing program in Tears of Freedom. If you want to find out more about Tears of Freedom, just type TOF in the comment section there, and I'll send you some more information about it. But what I'd done is I put a 6 month, well, actually I'd put a 12-month buffer in place. So I'd worked out, okay, I need £2,000 a month, so I need to save 24,000. You might be saying, Jamie, you're crazy. I can't save 24,000. I can tell you now that from October to was it about March when everything happened? So October to March, so in 5 months, my wife and I, we just scrimped and saved literally everything that we could. We already had some savings that we were spending, but we kind of put all this money aside, put all this money into pots, and we were able to put together a 12-month war chest. So what that meant is, when COVID hit and we couldn't get any support, we got no support from the government, no government payouts, nothing. We couldn't even claim for child support or anything, which I'm not going, woe is me and the world's a bad place, because that's far from it. But we didn't get anything. We didn't get any support whatsoever, because we had a war chest, but also from a mindset point of view, we got this war chest in place where effectively I don't need to earn any money until, well, probably about February, March next year. So, you know, that's a fantastic position to be in, and it can certainly help open your mind and give you time to be able to serve your audience. And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to give you knowledge that people have been paying £197 a month for free, because I want to pay it forwards. I want to help business owners start from the right mindset, start with the end in mind, as Stephen Covey says. You know, start with that end in mind. So what money have you got unavailable? What money are you going to set aside each month? Like, don't get to January and go, oh crap, like my tax bill's £15,000 and I haven't saved up for it. You've made the money. You should have saved it. Like it's that simple. You should have saved it. And if you didn't save it, you should have paid it to the tax man. Because, like, if you paid it to the taxman, then it's not yours anymore. Does that make sense? So you could have then potentially dipped in and got some support from the government. Does that make sense? So you must have money that you're going to put in, money that you want to take out, and money that's unavailable. The same with time. We want to know what time you're putting in. Take time out of the business, so time in the business doing the work, time out of the business, and time unavailable, which is like your expert mode. So they're like the 3 phases to really getting your pricing structure right, your business structure right. Because if you don't take into consideration the time and the money together, your pricing is just going to be all over the place. Imagine selling widgets, and if you're selling widgets, but imagine it takes you 100 hours a week to sell, 100,000 widgets. You need to understand the cost of those widgets, how much you need to sell those widgets for, and how much money you've made for the time that you've invested in selling those widgets. Like, it's all well and good saying, oh yes, I made £1 million this month. Yeah, you made £1 million, but what was the cost of that? What was the cost of making that £1 million? Was it £800,000 and the cost of losing your wife, or the cost of losing a relationship with your family? Like, does that make sense? Like, it's so important. Just if you get these fundamentals right, like you've got the tools to start succeeding straight away. So let's look at the numbers in a bit more detail. I know I said I was going to go detailed. I apologize. I'm sorry, but this is so vital, because if you do this, and this is the most valuable part of this session, if you do this work and write it and put it on a wall in front of you, so you know categorically what you've got to earn. I've set myself a target of earning £10,000 a month, and that's my target. Now, realistically, it will start at 2, it will go to 3, then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, and it will build and it will compound, because I believe in the process, because I believe in the value that I can bring to people. So if this was the result, we've got money in. So let's say we've got £1,000 to invest in our business, and we've got money out. So we've got £6,000 per month. So that's £72,000. So that's the money we want every month. So we want £6,000 every month. And then money available for the 6-month buffer is £12,000. So we know our outgoings are £2,000 a month. But obviously, we'd love to be able to earn £6,000 a month. So money out is what we want. Money unavailable is what we need. Does that make sense? So the money we want versus the money we need. So it's important to get that variable right in your mind. So we've got money in, £1,000, money out every single month that we'd like to earn, £6,000 a month. So that's 72 grand. Money unavailable is 6 months. That's £12,000, and that's my financial situation, or not changing at the moment. That's an average of £2,000 a month expenses. So again, do those calculations, do that maths, and you'll be on the road to winning very, very quickly. So let's look at the money I owe you again. So we've got plus 1,000, we've got minus 72,000, and minus 12,000. So in the next year, we need £83,000 before we pay any tax. So in order to achieve our goals, our dreams, what we want to achieve, that's what we'd need to achieve in the business. Now, in order to do that, we need to price our services accordingly to achieve that as our goal. Otherwise, it's impossible. It's not achievable. The only way of achieving that number of £83,000 after tax is working more, which is not going to give you more time with your children. It's not going to give you more quality time with your wife. It's not going to give you more quality time on the golf course, more time to do your hobbies, more time to do relaxation techniques, more time to do yoga. You know, you might be saying, Jamie, I've got plenty of time at the moment because of COVID and I've been furloughed. Well, if you're sitting on your laurels and you've just been furloughed, I think that's rather silly. I understand what you're doing, and there's going to be a vast majority of people that are furloughed at the minute are going to be worried about their jobs. But if you're not doing something about it, like your job could be made redundant in the next couple of weeks. And if your job is made redundant, then what? Then what? You get a payout and then the money dries up. Then what? You haven't got a plan. This is a plan. This is a foolproof plan to get you what you want, to get you earning the money you want from your business, your online business, your service-based business, your product-based business, your e-commerce business. You know, you need to understand the end result that you want from the time you're investing into that business. If you don't, you're just going to be wasting your time and you're not going to achieve your dreams, because you're just going to be continually chasing the next book, the next book, the next book. So if we do it in reverse order, so if we know the price, so let's say the price of this widget is £100 and cost of delivery is £50 and our profit is £50. Like, obviously we need to know this. We need to understand these fundamentals. So if we know that, we can reverse engineer it. So that effectively we would need to price our services at £166,000 for the full year. So that's for our 1,470 hours if we're a service-based business. If we're selling widgets or e-commerce products, that's how much money we would need to make. So for e-commerce businesses, we'd take that number and divide that by the 100, which is effectively the 83,000, isn't it? Or divided by 2. So I'm just going 166,000. So we'd have to sell 1,660 units. So we'd have to sell 1,666 units at £100 each. So we now know how many widgets we need to sell. But in the service-based business, we know our top line, our turnover needs to be 166,000 because our cost of delivery is 83,000. So we then make a profit of 83,000 there. Now, I'm ignoring tax for the purpose of this example, just for simplicity. Because obviously we'd add our tax on and the price would go up even more. But I just want to keep it nice and simple in your mind. So you've got a starting point for how you price your services. This is beginner level. This is pricing your services 101. This is not advanced level stuff. The more advanced level stuff is in my mentoring program. If you'd like to learn more about my mentoring program, just put mentoring in the comment section there, and I'll be more than happy to have a one-to-one with you for free. I normally charge £297 for that, so $397 for a one-to-one with me, and the reason why is because the impact I've had on some businesses, helping them negotiate six-figure fees, profit increases of 35%, whilst reducing their client size by 25%. So getting back 25% of the time, but increasing their profit by 35%. These are just some of the small wins that we've had for clients. So if we've got an existing business, what we would want to do is we want to say, well, okay, what's the average fee that you charge? So if you had an existing business, and let's say you've got, you've got £50,000 worth of revenue and you've got 50 clients, you've got £1,000 average fee. So 166 divided by 1,000, you need a target number of customers of 166. Does that make sense? So again, that's if you've got an existing client base. Now, if you're a new business and you've got 166, I know this sounds overcomplicated, but just get a calculator, watch the video, rewind it, bring it back. This is valuable stuff. You really need to get this right. And you might be saying, oh, it's finance, it's boring. If you don't get this right, like, how do you expect to be financially free? How do you expect to achieve your dreams unless you've got a plan? Fail to plan, plan to fail. Fail to plan, plan to fail. I can't remember who said that, but whoever they did, it's an incredibly smart person. So 166,000 divided by your average fee equals your total number of customers, or target number of customers. 166,000 divided by number of customers equals your capacity. So capacity to serve. So for example, if you said to me, Jamie, I'm a bookkeeper. I don't really want to serve more than 20 customers. So you take the 166,000 divided by 20 customers, and you've got an average fee of 8,300 needed. Divide that by 12, you've now got a minimum fee of effectively £700 a month. Now, any client that's willing to pay you less than £700 a month, it's not worth taking them on. You might be saying, Jamie, is my service worth £700 a month? Well, if the average bookkeeper is in a paid job, in a paid full-time 40-hour week job, getting paid, I think it was on, what was I looking at? Let me just see if I can bring that up. What's the website called? Crossover, I think it's called. So Crossover, if you go to Crossover, so crossover.com, so www.crossover.com. And Crossover is one of the, I don't know if it's like a recruitment agent. It kind of gives the impression that it is, but effectively what they're doing is acquiring SaaS businesses or SaaS model businesses and then putting in the right staff for them. So anyway, some of the highest paid individuals in the world And what's interesting is if you go to their current jobs at the moment, so if you are looking for a job, go and have a look at Crossover. If you go and look at their jobs, it gives you a good indication of what the top people in that industry are getting paid. Now, that's based on like a full-time salaried person doing that role. That's not based on a business that is then doing that role, because a business has other costs associated to it. And those other costs associated to running it are savings for the business owner that you're working with. So, for example, they don't have to pay for software licenses. They don't have to pay for office space. They don't have to pay for the computers. They don't have to pay for the internet for those additional members of staff. They don't have to pay for a company car. They don't have to pay the employer taxes. They don't have to pay the pensions and stuff like that. So it could be a very good stamp in the ground to get a better understanding as to how much to charge and how much to charge your customers. But what I was trying to do is work out the average. I think it's something like $60,000. So $60,000 divided by 2,080 hours is around $30 an hour. So at $30 an hour, that's about £25. So actually, no, let's work it back. 60,000 divided by about 1.3 something. It's around 46,000 divided by 12. So they're paying around £3,846 a month for a good senior accountant, a good senior financial analyst, a good senior financial controller. Like, that's what they're paying. So if they're paying 3,846, do you think your service is worth £700 a month? Well, hell yeah. Why wouldn't it be? Does that make sense? So I just wanted to share that with you. And I hope you've got value out of that. If you have got value out of it, then please do let me know in the comments. I'm trying to help as many business owners as I can worldwide get their businesses online. I'm trying to specifically help parentpreneurs, so you can spend more time with your children. And if you want to do that, do the work. Like, you've got to do this work, do the foundational stuff right. If you're not doing this foundational stuff right, how do you expect to do the advanced stuff? How do you expect to live the life of your dreams? How do you expect to spend more time with your family? Like, it's got to start. It's got to start somewhere, and it starts with a plan. So start with a plan, get your pricing right. I hope you've enjoyed today's session. I really have enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments if you've got any questions. If you're watching the replay, just put replay in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you. Like I say, every question that's asked in the comment section, if you got to this point here, send me a message, a personal message, and I will let you book a free one-to-one with me worth $397, £297. And that's even if this is 2 years down the line, 3 years down the line. Like, if you watch this video to this point here, you get this bonus. And thank you for supporting me, and thank you for supporting yourself, and thank you for supporting your family. You're doing an amazing job. I wish you every bit of success in the future. Keep coming and joining us. So I'm doing these lives every Wednesday at 11. I've got a webinar series mentoring group that runs every Wednesday at 4 p.m. I'm setting up some new mentoring groups so I can take in clients from Australia as well, where the demand is. So again, I'm trying to work with you guys. Just let me know if you're interested in some mentoring or helping somebody work through these calculations with you, so you've got a plan in mind. Then, like I say, PM me, send me a personal message or comment below, and I will personally reply to you. Anyway, have an amazing day. Take care. Bye-bye.